IRB Infra is on our radar now. The company has reported strong toll collections for the month of February, along with the private InvIT. We have with us Anil Yadav, Director, Investor Relations at IRB Infra, to talk about the business momentum going forward. Anil, will talk about some of your recent projects in just a bit. But before that, let's get the toll collections picture out of the way. I believe the combined collections for the InvIT and IRB Infra, I think the combined increase was about 31% year on year. Can you tell us what the trends are like going forward from here? And there's been some chatter around whether because of certain protests, etc., whether toll collection is also becoming an issue at couple of places in the country. I'm not sure if any of your properties are facing that.
I think in terms of the collection, January we have seen approximately 25% growth in terms of the IRB and the private InvIT put together. And that growth momentum has further improved to 31% in the month of February. So that growth from 25% has moved to 31%. In terms of toll collection, none of the IRB or private InvIT project is affected because of the protest going on. As of now, the collections are very smooth at all toll plaza. We had one day disturbance in terms of toll collection, that is public InvIT, that is Amritsar Pathankot project. But on very second day, the toll collection on that particular project has also resumed.
Okay, all right, got that. Another quick question is, there are around 40,000 crores of road toll projects out for bidding, and that's expected to open sometime in March itself. When can we expect these projects to be awarded, and is there any extension of these dates?
I think in terms of award, you are correct that there was almost 40,000 worth of project identified on a priority basis to be awarded in the month of March and April. And since those are already identified opportunity, and as we have witnessed in the last election also, even post code of conduct also, the bidding activity was on by the NHI. We expect that same to continue, and this same may get awarded over the period of March and April. The total overall opportunity in the BOT segment, what they have identified, is almost 1.1 trillion worth of project to be awarded in FY24 and FY25.
So just, on awards, given that we're coming into election season now, and NHI awards anyway have been, pretty low key this year. I think February saw a bit of a pickup. January, February saw some pickup. But given that we're coming into election season, what is the kind of awarding activity, if any, you're expecting in the next couple of months? And then what would be your order book growth target? How will you end FY24, and what is the sort of expectation for FY25?
Yeah, though the NHI award activity was on a lower side, this year as against to 5 to 7,000 crores of our yearly run rate, this year we have bagged almost 15 to 16,000 worth of project. That included TOT and one BOT. And going forward, considering the large pipeline of projects are available, and we have roughly 36,000 crores order book in hand. Out of that, 75-80% is O&M, that is long dated order book, which will be for 15 to 20 years. So we have visibility in terms of EPC and O&M to be executed next over a period of 2.5 years is around 10,000 crores. So we have a clear visibility, and based on the current order book itself, the EPC can grow in range of 10 to 15%. And we are also eyeing out of the new opportunity which will get bidded out in near future. So there, because we like BOT and TOT most, because the BOT project get executed through private InvIT, which reduces our equity requirement from typically BOT project gets funded 70-30 debt equity. That reduces our equity requirement to 15% because balance is contributed by GIC being a 49% partner in the private InvIT. And we generate around 22 to 23% EBITDA on the construction side. And all the execution of the BOT is done by the IRB. All the execution of execution plus O&M is done by IRB for the private InvIT and public InvIT both. Considering that we will be being an integrated player, we will be eyeing for the BOT and TOT in the same order of the preference. and we will be eyeing around 5 to 7,000 crores worth of project over the period of 3 to 4 months.
Okay, all right. I also want to ask you, what are the changes in the model concession agreement? What has the NHAI done to make these road toll projects more attractive?
So I think, as we discussed last time, there is shift from the EPC and HAM to BOT and TOT because government has their financial situation. They don't want to increase the data on their balance sheet. And since now more BOT will be coming out, the government has also modified the model concession agreement to suit the requirement of the investor. And there they have, in fact, linked the termination payment with the unexpired concessions cash flow, and which will be discounted based on the cost of borrowing. So there they have provided certain kind of protection. That is one which I have discussed, that in terms of they will be paying out NPV of the unexpired concession in terms of the discounting at the cost of debt.
Okay, all right. Also we have the other big, trigger is going to be the elections. So I want to ask you, can the model code of conduct before the union elections be a bit of an issue in winning a new project? And also, will the L1 of a bid be declared and the LOA be announced after the elections? Is that possible?
Yes, so we have witnessed the similar kind of situation last year. You have rightly mentioned. Last year, what we have seen is because these projects are already on the websites of the NHAI. So even post code of conduct, this project can get bidded out, and the preferred bidder will be declared, and the LOA can be issued post the result of the election, which we have witnessed the last time as well.
Okay, just final question then. Since you're talking about higher interest as a company, you like BOT and TOT more. Let's just talk about the last big TOT win. I think this is TOT Bundle 12, and this involves highway projects across UP and MP. And I believe you've also tied up some project finance for this. So just tell us how a project like this works. What are the tariffs like? What is the kind of return that you're going to make? What is the sort of investment that will be put in, for which you've already tied up? I think at least partially you've tied up the finance for that. So how will this TOT Bundle 12 work?
Yeah. In terms of the TOT, this TOT was bidded out by the private InvIT, where IRB owns 51% and GIC owns 49%. Then typically this project is getting funded in the ratio of 65-35. So 65% debt we have already tied up, and the 35% equity will be infused by the private InvIT, which will be in a ratio of 51-49 from IRB and GIC. And in terms of this project is having at 20 years of the concession life, and typically these projects are bidded on an IRR of around 15 to 17%. That is the levered equity IRR on the project.
Okay, so what is the equity component that IRB per se has to put in through the InvIT? Because you said GIC is also funding. So I'm just trying to understand, what is the equity contribution that you make? And you're saying the return on that IRR is going to be 15 to 17%.
Yes. So in terms of the equity required will be in range of 850 to 900 crores, which will be IRB's share. The total project cost is in excess of 5,000 crores, roughly 35 billion. That is 3,500 crores is the debt, and balance is equity, which will come in the ratio of 51-49.
All right, final question then, Mr. Yadav, before we let you go. What's the status of the arbitration awards won for Maharashtra projects? And also, if you could give us the status of the arbitration for the Ahmedabad Vadodara project.
So I think on the Edishi Aurangabad, we have typically, as we have stated in the disclosure itself, NHAI may go for the appeal. And typically the court process takes around 1.5 to 2 years. And we have right to get 75% amount post the arbitration award by submitting the bank guarantee to the NHAI. And I think if NHAI appeals, then the matter will be in the High Court, and post that it may go up to the Supreme Court level. probably we will see a resolution and final amount coming to IRB within a span of 1.5 to 2 years from now. Because as of now, we don't have intent, and because we have also cash available on books, so we don't need to submit the BG and get the 75% amount released. And now coming to Amritsar, Ahmedabad, Vadodara, I think there the final hearing is already concluded, and we can expect award in near future.
Okay. All right. We will leave it on that note. Thank you very much for joining in. That's the latest from IRB Infra. By the way,